Hello my TBDs and welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to do a drugstore foundation declutter. You're going to be seeing this video when I have just finished up my wear test Wednesdays for the drugstore foundations before we move on to the high-end foundations. But if you're interested in seeing what I keep and what I don't, then just keep watching. So a little backstory on me, I do have oily and sensitive skin. Let's just dive in. Oh my gosh, there are so many foundations here. I have them like all right here. I have about 25 drugstore foundations sitting in front of me, so I am excited to get rid of some of them. There are definitely some foundations that do not work for me, and I don't even know why I kept them for so long. So the first foundation that I have is the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous Fresh Complexion Oil-Free Foundation. I have it in the shade 105 Classic Ivory. One simple step for a flawless natural look that lasts all day. This formula blends easy to even skin tone and reduce shine all day. It says it won't clog pores, suitable for sensitive skin, and it lasts all day. This is probably one of my favorite foundations ever. I'm going to put it up in my top 5 favorite foundations. So I'm not getting rid of this. This keeps me matte throughout the entire day. It is drugstore. It's very affordable. For some reason, CoverGirl foundations just really work for my skin. So I'm keeping this guy. It keeps my oil at bay. This looks skin-like when it's on, and it is not super full coverage, but you can definitely build this up to be full coverage. If you were trying to find a drugstore foundation that works for your oily skin, I would definitely try this out. The next one I have is the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Total Coverage Full Coverage Weightless Fill Foundation. I have it in the shade Classic Ivory 301. I'm getting rid of this. It was just not a good foundation. I'm sure you have seen reviews on this, but it was so heavy and moussey. It's even the wrong undertone for me. This was just not good. It was very, very heavy and cakey. I got oily right away, and I just do not think this is the foundation for me. It said on the back it's supposed to be a natural finish, 24-hour wear, high coverage, and airlight texture. I could definitely feel this on my skin. It felt like I was wearing a very heavy foundation, so yeah, I'm gonna say goodbye to this one. The next two foundations I have are the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundations. I have them in 2 shades. I have the shade Buff and Porcelain. Now both of these are too dark for my skin, and I just wore the Porcelain one in a wear test Wednesday. I did not like this. The good thing about this video is it kind of gives me some time to wear some of these foundations a little bit more from the wear test Wednesdays, that instead of just a first impression, I really get to tell you my thoughts about this foundation after trying it a couple times. So I am going to get rid of these. They do not look good on my skin after only a couple of hours. They just don't last. They break up on my nose and on my chin. I am very oily at the end of the day. And to be honest, the shade range is a huge drawback for me because the lightest shade Porcelain doesn't even match my skin. This makes me very oily, and it's the wrong shade in general, and I can't justify keeping this. So I'm going to get rid of both of these shades. I don't use it, and it's just not a foundation that sits very well on my skin. Oh, and I forgot to mention, if these foundations don't work for me, it doesn't mean that they won't work for you. But the nice thing about these videos is that if you have a similar skin type to me, then these might, I don't know, you can kind of get an idea of what might work for you and what might not. But again, just because I don't like them does not mean that you guys are not gonna like them. You could definitely like these foundations, and I'm just being honest and telling you what I do and don't wear and the reasons why. So yes, I forgot to do that disclaimer in the beginning. The next foundation I have is the Soap & Glory One Heck of a Blot All Day Liquid to Powder Foundation. I do not like this at all. It says fabulous, flawless, full coverage. Ooh, it says it controls shine for 12 hours, deliver flawless, full coverage, no cakiness, which, okay. My pores looked very large when I wore this foundation, and it was very heavy and cakey, and it just did not last on my skin. It broke up everywhere. I got really oily, and it was uncomfortable to wear. It felt really heavy on my skin, so I'm going to get rid of this one. I'm pretty sure I'm going to get rid of so many foundations that I have not used. Next, I have the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation in the shade Nude Ivory. I'm probably the only person in the beauty community that does not like this Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation. I have a lot of texture right here on my chin, and this emphasizes it so much. So if you have texture on your skin, I don't know if you would like this. I just can't see a reason to keep this. While it does look really good in photos, when you're up close, like my chin looks so bad. It just looks really, really bad. I'm gonna have to get rid of this, even though I know a lot of people are gonna be like, what? I don't think it looks good on my chin, and I tend to focus on my chin the whole rest of the day when I wear this because I know it doesn't look good. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, people that are having to look at me right now. So yes, I'm gonna get rid of this. Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of it. I'm sorry. The next foundation that I have is the Maybelline Dream Matte Mousse foundation. I have the shade Classic Ivory Light 2 and Porcelain Ivory Light 1. This foundation I did try out in my Wear Test Wednesday as well, and I am gonna get rid of the Classic Ivory shade because I never use it because it is just too dark. I am never gonna be that shade, ever. So I'm gonna get rid of it simply because of the shade, but I'm gonna keep the lighter one because I did like how this wore on my face when I did do that Wear Test Wednesday, and I've worn it a couple times since and I have really enjoyed it. So I'm gonna hold on to this one. The next foundation I have is probably my all-time favorite foundation out of, ooh, I don't know if I should say that. Okay. It is one of my all-time favorite foundation. I have the CoverGirl Clean Matte BB Cream. One of them says new, and one of them doesn't say anything, like it has this little new sticker. This is for oily skin. It is, again, a CoverGirl BB cream, but it covers like a foundation. It says it provides the perfect amount of coverage to even skin tone, hide blemishes, and keep you shine free. It won't clog pores. It's suitable for sensitive skin, and it lasts all day. This is probably my favorite drugstore foundation. Other than the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous, this is my favorite drugstore foundation. I am not going to get rid of either of those. This one I am almost out of, so I need to go get more. This is the light shade, and I have it in fair and light. This is amazing. It keeps me matte. You can build it up to almost a full coverage, and it goes on medium coverage like instantly. So I am so surprised that they labeled this a BB cream because this covers better than some of my actual foundations do. I am going to keep both of these. The next foundation I have is the Milani Conceal and Perfect 2-in-1 foundation and concealer. I have the lightest shade Creamy Vanilla. I do think that they came out with another lighter shade than this, and I need to try it. Ooh, this does not match me at all. I'm gonna have to go get one of those lighter shades. I saw a foundation video where they did come out with two lighter shades. It says that this is a medium to full coverage foundation, lightweight, long wearing, water resistant, and sweat proof. I'm gonna get rid of this, but I'm gonna go buy the lighter shade because I do like this foundation, but as you can see, it just does not match me. So I'm gonna get rid of this, but I'm gonna go buy the lighter one. But there is hype around this product for a reason. I'm going to get rid of this one and go get a lighter shade. Also, if you guys know any good donation agencies that I can donate some of my makeup to, I would love that. The problem is I know that some of those organizations ask for unused products, and I have used all of these. Not very much, maybe once or twice, but I feel bad throwing them away, and I don't really have people in my life that would wear any of these products. If you have any good donation options, then please leave them down below. I'd be happy to donate my makeup. I just don't know where to do that. The next foundation I have is the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-Hour Comfort Serum Skin Perfecting Full Coverage Foundation. This is great. It is very waterproof. It's one of my favorites. I did not think I was going to like it. It says it is an instant perfect coverage that lasts all day. It's sweet, het, humid. What is a het? Sweet, sweat, heat, humidity, and transfer proof for up to 25 hours. I think this is probably my longest lasting foundation at the drugstore that I have, so I'm definitely keeping this. The word serum threw me off because normally foundations that have serum in the title are more watery and will make me oily very quickly. But this is a really good one, so yeah, I'm gonna keep this one. Let's move on. The next foundation I have is the Maybelline Dream Fresh BB 8-in-1 Beauty Balm Skin Perfector. It has SPF 30 in here. It says a light medium sheer tint. This light medium shade, I think there's only 2 shades to this. And this light medium one is too dark for me, so I'm gonna have to get rid of it because it's too dark. It's one of those shades where I'm never gonna be that shade. And I just don't think it's anything special. Next, I have the CoverGirl. Whoa, this is probably not good anymore. If this is still good, I'm going to keep it. It's probably because it's been laying down for a long time. This is the CoverGirl Clean Matte Liquid Foundation. It says oil control. I'm in the shade 510 Classic Ivory. And on the back it says it's oil-free, unscented, won't clog pores, suitable for sensitive skin. I'm going to have to test this out a little bit more. I haven't used it a ton to say whether I like it or whether I don't like it. So I'm going to hold on to it so that I can continue to keep using it because I have a feeling I'm going to like it if it's a similar formula to the Clean Matte BB Cream. So I'm going to keep this one. I'm proud of myself for having more foundations in the toss pile than in the keep pile. This is the Revlon Photo Ready BB Cream. It has SPF 30 in it. It's the shade Light Medium. This I reviewed a long time ago. It was like Drugstore BB Cream Showdown or something. This one, however, I feel like this is so old. Okay, I need to get rid of it just because it's old. I have had this since that video. Now that I have had an opportunity to play with some of these newer foundations at the drugstore, I don't think that this is worth it. It doesn't compare to other foundations that I have tried at the drugstore that I'm keeping, so I'm gonna have to get rid of this. This is the L'Oreal True Match Lumi Cushion. It is a luminous foundation. I feel like there's nothing in here anymore. I went through this foundation so quickly because there was just not a lot of product in here. 0.51 ounces, and I'm in the shade N2. Does this even have any foundation in it anymore? Like, I'm touching it and I'm getting nothing. I don't think that this does anything anymore. I've had it for so long, so I'm gonna get rid of it. What do I think about this foundation? This is the L'Oreal True Match Super Blendable Makeup, has SPF 17 in it. I just reviewed this again on my Wear Test Wednesday. I think I'm gonna get rid of it. It didn't impress me enough to keep it. So this is the Revlon Color Stay Makeup. It says for combination oily skin. And on the back it says wears up to 24 hours, flawless look, lightweight feel. I agree with this. This is also one of the better foundations at the drugstore. This, I hear a lot of the time, is compared to the Estee Lauder Double Wear. I would agree with that. I really like this foundation. Keeps me matte, wears a really long time, looks nice at the end of the day. I'm gonna keep it. This is a really good one. This is the Maybelline Dream Wonder Fluid Touch Foundation, has SPF 20 in it. I am in the shade Classic Ivory. This I'm gonna keep because I've had some good results with this, but I need to play around with it a little bit more to really figure out my thoughts and feelings about it. Then I have the CoverGirl Vitalist Healthy Elixir Foundation. This has SPF 20. I have the shade 710 and 705. One of them is ivory and one is classic ivory. It says lightweight full coverage makeup. This formula hydrates, includes an SPF 20, vitamins, and an antioxidant. This is actually what I have on my skin right now. I am getting oily at this point. It's 6:45 in the evening right now. I've worn this all day long. Again, I did do a first impressions on this foundation in a Wear Test Wednesday. You can definitely go over and watch that video. But this is probably one of my most long wearing foundations that looks really good. I love how it looks at the end of the day. It just looks like skin. When I first apply it, it's not very heavy. It's not very cakey. It does mimic the look of skin and it is a little bit more lightweight. However, you can build up the coverage if you want to. So I just think this is a really good drugstore foundation, especially for oily skin, which is weird because it says hydrating, but I really like it. And I'm going to keep both shades because I do get tanner in the summer and who knows when I'm going to have to use this darker shade. So I'm going to keep these two. Last four foundations, I have the Sonia Kashuk Soft Focus Satin Matte Foundation. I feel like this was the rage a long time ago, like maybe a year ago. I really like this foundation. It has a pump also. This doesn't really say anything other than Soft Focus Satin Matte Foundation. I'm a huge fan of this. I am in the shade 01 Bisque. I think this is their lightest shade, but I really like this foundation. It's great for oily skin and it's a little bit more high-end looking. I love the ombre like fade out and then you can see the color of the foundation on here. It is more yellow tone, so if you have a lot of pink in your skin, I think you're gonna have a hard time finding a shade in this foundation range, but it's great and you can get it at Target. I think it's really good, so I'm gonna keep it. Next, I have the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte Demi Matte Finish Airlight Oil-Free Foundation. I'm in the shade 102 Shell Beige. I think this is the second to lightest shade. It says oil control, a demi-matte finish, 24-hour wear, medium coverage, which I don't agree with. And the texture is Air Light. I'm going to keep this. I am almost out of this foundation. Probably one of the first that I have ever finished. This is a great foundation. It does feel more heavy because it is a full coverage foundation. It does control my oil very well. I know that if I have a really long day ahead of me, I'm going to use this foundation because it's going to last. Then I have the number 7 Beautifully Matte foundation. It's an all day velvet matte perfection SPF 15. It has a pump, which is nice. You can get this at Walgreens. I really like this foundation. I do think it's a little dark, but this is a really good, soft, velvety finish foundation that works really well for my oily skin. So I'm going to keep this one. Then last but not least, it is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless Foundation. It says great for normal to oily skin, mattifies and refines pores, matches natural tone, natural seamless finish. So this is kind of a tried and true foundation for me. I think that it doesn't keep me too matte to where it looks very cakey and heavy, but this is just a good foundation that also mimics the look of your skin. It does not have a pump. I wish it has a pump. This is an all-around really good foundation for oily skin, and it doesn't emphasize my texture down here. It's just a really good one, and I get compliments on my skin when I wear this foundation. You can build it up to a full coverage if you would like. I'm going to keep this one because it's just really good and I get a lot of compliments when I wear it. These are the ones that we got rid of. And then these are the foundations that we kept. I ended up getting rid of 11 foundations and keeping 14. I split my drugstore foundation collection in half, which I'm really proud of. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on my future videos. If you are interested, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye!